What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, as we build up this 3rd gen access cab, something just seemed off on the exterior of the truck. Now, as I tried to like the grille that comes on the Sport, the more I look at it, the more mundane it just looks, especially stepping back from far away. Now, I promised myself I wouldn't put on a TRD Pro grill as it's been played out, and we're technically not. We're going to install the SR5 Trail Edition grill with bronze letters. The Pro grill actually has silver letters, so I'm still sticking my word of no Pro grill. Without further ado, let's go ahead and remove the Sport grill and get the Trail Edition one installed. And here's the parts we'll be installing today. Here is the SR5 Trail Edition grill. This has the bronze letters in Toyota. Now the TRD Pro has the Toyota letters in silver, so that's the main differences. And we got this opening right here. That's for the TSS, which is Toyota Safety Sense, and we'll get into more details on that later. And the most expensive component we'll be installing is this grill garnish plate. This is very pricey. This thing has jumped up in price significantly over the past few years. Basically, it's Toyota's way of trying to prevent regular Tacomas of having the TRD Pro grill on there. But it is expensive if you're willing to pay the money. There's a lot of aftermarket out there, but I wanted to go with OEM. And last but not least, we have the garnish plate push-in nuts. Pick this up at the local Toyota dealer. Even though it doesn't come in the OEM package, I'll go ahead and put the part number below. And here's the part number for your reference. If you want to put a Trail Edition grill on your Tacoma, this thing is made in the United States, which is awesome. So before we install this on the Tacoma, I'll give you a few close-ups of this Trail Edition grill, which gives you the details and whatnot. Looks like it's a very nice grill, much better design than the Sport in my opinion. Sport grill and the off-road are basically the same. Now if you flip it over, you'll see the Toyota emblem right there. And as you get to the driver's side, inside of the grill, we got 2 different part numbers, PT22835170, and right below that is PT22835180. Let's compare that to the sticker on the box. PT22835220. So before we install a new grill in a truck, you want to go ahead and inspect carefully all these plastic ribs, make sure none of these things are broke before you go install the garnish plate on here, which is very tough to remove. We'll get to that in a little bit. So all these ribs look like they're pretty good. All these plastic tabs look like they're intact. So let's go ahead and prepare this grill. So let me go ahead and show you the tools required in order to install the new grill on your Tacoma. So the tools needed for this job is a set of needle nose pliers, 10mm socket, 7mm socket, ratchet, and a flathead screwdriver. And then you want some type of soft working surface to put on your table so you don't scratch up your painted surface on the grill surround when we pulled out the truck. Okay, here's one last look at the Sport grill before we go ahead and remove this from the truck. As you can see from far away, I'm not too impressed with this, with the little ovals. But as you get close to this grill, I kind of like that zigzag right there. That's kind of a nice feature with the detail, but as I said before, you get back here, step back from the truck with all these ovals, I'm just not too impressed with it. So let me go ahead and show you guys how to remove the grill off the truck. Okay, so I went ahead and popped the hood. Right here at the core support area, let me show you what we need to address. You got this 10mm bolt right here, that needs to be undone. The passenger side 10mm bolt, that needs to be undone. Moving on over here to the headlight, you need to go ahead and take your flathead screwdriver, pry it under this clip, pop this thing up, and this clip should come right out. And same procedure for the driver's side clip. Take your flathead screwdriver, go underneath it, twist it. This middle part should come right out. The outside part should come out as well. And then once this clip is removed, this bolt's removed, that bolt is removed, and this clip is removed. That should be what's holding this grill into place. Now, before removing the grill on the driver's side, here's the TSS sensor right here, Toyota Safety Sense. Go ahead and unplug this from the harness itself. And over on the driver's side, where this 10mm bolt's at, you'll want to go ahead and take your needle nose pliers, squeeze this tab, push this down, and then you want to go ahead and disconnect the TSS wiring harness right here. Squeeze this in, pull it right out, and that should free the harness from the grill itself. So let's go ahead and take care of the 2 bolts, the 2 clips, and the wiring harness, and then we should be able to just basically grab the grill and pull it straight out. Just another tip is there's a little indentation on here, so you want to kind of lift this bracket upwards away from this core support right here. Same thing on this side, lift this up, and then the grill should come that way. So let's go ahead, remove the front grill right here. Okay, so now that we got the sport grill and the surround off of our truck, we need to go ahead and take this grill and remove it from the surround. So go ahead and flip the grill over. Okay, here's our TSS, or our Toyota Safety Sense Sensor. So we need to go ahead and take the 10mm out the side, and there's a Phillips head right on the top. We need to go ahead and remove that. But before we do so, there's clips on this harness, connecting it right there and connecting right there. So go ahead and carefully pry this with a small screwdriver. Same thing over here. And once we have the sensor removed, then we can focus on the grill itself. And as you can see, all these plastic tabs, you basically press these in and push them down. Same thing. But now on the sides here, I see some Phillips head screws, such as right here, and right here. I think those need to come out. And I see a bunch of slots right here on the side. So I suppose that this surround is basically universal for a TRD Pro or a Trail Edition grill. So we'll go ahead and remove these 3 Phillips head screws on this side right here. I believe there might be one right here on the top, another one right here on the bottom, and there's 3 on the driver's side as well. So remove those Phillips heads, plus all these tabs, and hopefully the grill should just drop right down. So let's go ahead and take the sensor off first. We'll get the clips out, and then the Phillips head screws. Hopefully the grill should come out easy. So let's go ahead and take care of this. All right, guys, the toughest part is over with. We got the old grill out from the surround, and there's our old grill, and we got the Toyota Safety Sense sensor removed. And one thing to note, go ahead and remove these metal nuts. They're basically slid into position. So for example, here on the new grill, basically just slide them towards the inside and it'll come right out. Okay, so here's our TSS garnish plate. This thing is very expensive. This is OEM Toyota. As you can see, this is basically how it mounts. There's 2 clips here on the bottom, and there's 2 studs. So what we're gonna do with this garnish plate is we're gonna go ahead and install it from the front side. So go under here, push it in position, and obviously these studs need to go where these circles are at, and these clips need to go where these rectangles are at right here. And then once you have in position, you got these 2 metal clips right here. So what you wanna do is get your 7mm socket right here, and once these clips are in position and you have this on the grill, you're gonna take the 7mm socket and basically just push right down. It's gonna lock it in position. But before we go install the garnish plate, take these metal nuts, we're gonna slide them right on. Basically just goes on just like so. Second one goes like so. Okay, ready to go. Let's go ahead and put the garnish plate on. All right, guys, these garnish plate push nuts are actually giving me trouble. I actually used a 10mm socket instead of a 7 in order to get around the diameter a little bit better. Anyhow, it's a little bit loose, so what I had to do is basically get a rubber mallet, wrap it up in a microfiber towel, and then when I go on the front side, I want to put this underneath one of the corners. So what I'm doing is preventing the garnish plate from shifting. So what I want to do is I want to take this 10mm socket, put it in place, and then take a hammer and basically just kind of tap this in position. You'll get these clips a lot more snug if you do this method, and you definitely want to put a protective cover on your garnish plate right here. You don't want to scratch this thing up. But these push nuts, they're a little tough to work with. So let's go ahead and put the sensor on, and then we can go ahead and put the grill into this round and put it back on the truck, and we should be good to go. All right guys, the grill is all assembled, and let me go ahead and show you what I did with the sensor. Basically, this clip right here and this clip right here, I basically flip-flopped them just so I have less pressure on this sensor right here, because there was a taller clip that was pushing this up and the smaller clip was on this side right here. And then obviously the main harness connector is right here on the top that clips in. So basically what we did, we took these two plastic clips and took them from the sport mode and just flipped them. So we have the Trail Edition type of grill. And that's how it is. Short one goes right here, closest to the sensor. Taller one right here goes right here by the A for the Toyota. Let me go ahead and show you how this thing attaches to the truck. So right here, you've got this little clip, and then this is where the push clip connects. Obviously the 10mm right here, another 10mm right there. Got the push clip right there, and you got this little tab right here that locks in place. So it's basically only 6 points that locks this grill in. Okay, and now the Trail Edition grill is all assembled with the garnish plate and the TSS sensor and put into the surround. Now last step is to go ahead and install it onto the truck. Here's the big step. Let's go ahead and mount this thing up. All right, there it is, guys. The Trail Edition grill, all mounted to the 22 TRD Sport. I think this grill looks phenomenal, gives the truck a whole different look, makes it look more aggressive, and I just love the classic design of those TOY OTA letters in bronze. Now, if you get the TRD Pro grill, those letters come in silver, by the way. So that's the main difference. Now, we got a special surprise for something else that's bronze coming for this truck. That's gonna coordinate quite well with those letters we chose. I'm very happy of how this thing turned out. And then as far as the OEM TSS garnish plate, this thing looks phenomenal. This kind of got like a faded design right here to mimic what the grill is. Now, if you get an aftermarket one, a lot of these are painted in bright silver and they'll stand out a lot. So it just depends what you want to spend, and make sure that the sensor is going to work. Do your research before you buy one. But this is OEM. I just didn't want to have any issues going forward, so I kind of paid the money for it. But very happy with this grill. Gives this truck a whole different look, and very happy. So let me know what you guys think. Should I went with an aftermarket grill, or should I went with the TRD Pro grill with the silver letters? All right guys, the SR5 Trail Edition grill is officially installed, along with the TSS sensor as well. This thing turned out absolutely incredible, and so glad I swapped out the OEM Sport grill for this one. Now, going on to the prices, you might want to take a seat for these. The actual SR5 Trail Edition grill was $188, which isn't that bad. Now that small TSS garnish plate, I actually got a deal on that on eBay for $250. Toyota actually lists that for $330 on up, which is crazy, but it is what it is. And as I mentioned earlier, we got something special that's gonna coordinate well with those bronze emblems, and hope y'all can tune in for when we do that part install. Anyhow, if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.